Okay, so that's the song. Once you hear this beat, mama, papa, brother, sister, can listen to it. Eugene Fagon's voice that I'm trying to mimic there. All right, so folks, you welcome to another edition of Reliable Info 360. A year across the Spoon Network, we're live on Spoon 107.5 FM. Super 95.5 FM, as well as Fabric 101.1. So wherever it is you're listening to us across Liberia, you're welcome. Those of you watching us in Liberia and all around the world, this is Reliable Info 360, and this is the first edition of the new month of July. So let me now bring on Honorable Eugene Lamin Fagon, your host. What's all the time? The purple, the royal purple, or the navy blue? Which one?
You get out to see. You're about to see.
I see you now. I see.
Now the way people can look to you.
I see you now. That which one? You know
blue.
the color. Navy blue, royal blue, or which one of the blue?
And this is not only blue, but this is blue with a B.
So which blue start with B?
This B start with. This blue starts with B. The other blue that you know, it starts with B. blue. You know, I just seen you when I said not yesterday, I'm sorry. Last week I said people should try to help with jingles and stuff. Oh, some people did that. I just sent it to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
So I know you play that one and listen to it, and then how you call it? That I just said to you.
I got it.
You will hear that thing. So different people are in the thing can't listen to everything. So
adding to mama, papa can't listen to
mama, papa in the one year.
I will listen to it.
Maybe before the show
on a more serious note, if we put your compilation together from Lamis Bottle Campaign to what the other one against that? I think you have about 2 compilations or 3. The one that
probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Yeah. Well, Lamis Bottle tell you and all I want. We'll put all of them together. You might just be in line for the Liberian Music Awards.
Of course. Nobody can
but you're being serious competition with your Bob Bagu.
Bagu not making music, Bagu on the hustle.
But the songs that he released, they in line with the nomination.
No, one song he released, he left out to play because he said the American Post Sanctioned worth nothing. He can't do nothing to him. Not a reggae song. I get a song. One day I'll play. He left out to play. He said a mistake. So right now, I'm leading the chart. I'm making music almost every 2-3 days. Yeah, right now the man in Israel. You know, back where is in Israel, but yeah, it's the phone about the Israeli trip. And you will not like this, but I got to tell you it. The president gets $2,000 United States dollars a day for incidental. And I hit Padam in case something happened. That $2 a day is excluded from his Padam, his ticket, his feeding, his hotel. Think about the amount of people he took with him this time again. The charter flight and everything. You leave the country soon Saturday morning from Monrovia to Ghana. It's 2 hours by flight. From Ghana to Israel is between 5 and 6 hours. You can look it up. Anybody listening to me, y'all go look it up. President goes Saturday, he bong there. Sunday, he bong there. Sunday morning now, he go Israel. What are you doing in those people's country? What are you doing in those people's country? But you know, that's why I like this fine Ghanaian artist they call Jackie Appiah. She sings some beautiful songs. That's all I can say. And you know, she does a lot of beautiful artistic work. She's into fashion. I like her. She's great. But I was country money with Finny. They were Finny. You say you're going to Israel for a 3-day working visit. You will not schedule to meet the president and the prime minister until tomorrow.
Tuesday.
I repeat. Yes. You meeting him Tuesday, but you leave your country on Saturday. So we got to get 2G Saturday, 2G Sunday, 2G Monday, 2G Tuesday. Then I hear you will tap some ball around that area. Small way. So Israeli player then days before you come back. So if you stay 6 days, that's 12,000 just for incidental alone.
1,200.
Yeah. No, not 1,200, 12,000. It's
2,000
per day.
2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12,000. Yeah, 12,000.
12,000. That one, now your ticket money, now your hotel, then your feeding, then your presidential allowance, then all your finabono, then Carrasco, then defense minister, that, all I want another. It is very costly to the country, Diamond. And so from Liberia to Ghana is 2 hours. From Ghana to Israel, it's 5 hours, 30 minutes. If you delay a little bit, it's 6 hours.
And you're on a private jet.
And we pay for the
Much
jet.
faster one.
And for the jet to sit down in Ghana for 2 days, we got to pay for all that one. But you know, our man will not see it. And that's why I don't know, on one of the video I think I sent you, I did justice. Yeah, on the wheels. You can see the wheels. So you can see the plane. Big harbor plane. Small country like that, bro. They get thing less small thing. You take that kind of big plane. Look at that kind of beauty. You can start checking the plane from the window. The window that it rolls. You hear that kind of, all your people there. Echo. They said, make it talk. Then I don't want to talk again. Let me understand. If you can't talk about it, one, it's sad. But Diamond, let me say good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia, wherever you find yourselves. You may be in Tatmanburg, Bomi County, Vanjama, Kailahun, Lofa County. You may be down there in Robertsport, or in Bopolu City, or you somewhere down in Banga, or Ganta, or Hapa, or Chen, or maybe I should say you're in River G, River Cess, Grand Cruz, Sino, or maybe we'll come down to Magibee and into Montserrado, and then we can talk about the other counties that we left out. Want to say good. I want to call Chen. You don't know Grand Jida. You don't know the place called Chen.
I know Chen district. I know Chen district, but
Chen is part of Grand Jida. You got to call one area there.
Why
the capital say about Grand Jida?
That's what you. I got the kind of question that has been even.
Who told you the capital city as Swedru?
Probably.
As a distorted fact, they gave you the say that your history.
All right, we're going with that one.
The capital city of Grand Jida is Zulu.
Okay.
Why did the book and say Zulu whiskey?
I take the Zulu. I take the Zulu whiskey. I take the Swedru.
No, Swedru. Zulu. That is the white people can look at it and say Swedru. They were fighting. They said Swedru. What is Swedru mean in crime?
Because the white people business, they just adopted Swedru.
Yes, but what the meaning of Swedru in crime? Swedru. What the meaning of it?
Okay.
It's our Bomi County. The capital city of Bomi County is Balaswa, meaning the cassava patch. And Balaswa is right there, opposite the Pentecostal mission. But the king, Todmon, a great man, they say they play in Todmon, but what did Todmon do for Dia or in move from there? You can tell us Todmon, but the place name is Balaswa. So you will see most of these places. You see Duko. Duko is named after the Du River.
Uh-huh.
Your man, dealing with you already now, you see it?
No problem. Let him enjoy that.
The man already dealing with you already, enough fun. But anyways, folks in Radio Land, this is your program, Reliable Source 360, Reliable Info, 360. And we are coming to you live from Monrovia, as well as where I'm based here in the United States. I will not call it play for your kind here. So, the river that passes you through Zwedru is called Zwe. That Drew means head. Zwedru means head of the river. You see it?
Yeah, but you are just asking what you mean, crown. So somebody just gave you the
that's why I say Zulu that any people call Zwedru. They won't spell it all kind of way. Zulu, the head of the river. And Bomi County is Balasua, meaning
so,
Kasawa Pash.
Listen to what Patricia Williams said now, Mr. Fagon. She said the river that passes through Zwedru is
no, the river that passes you.
Uh-huh. And then the Drew means the head. So Zwedru means head of the river. So he says Zwedru not anything crown. So she just gave you, you know.
No, I'm saying where's Zwedru, Zwe. The name is Zru. I'm speaking crown to you. You don't understand me? That crown I'm speaking to you, so the crown will call me Mokuzon. I'm the wicked devil. That's what I'm telling you. That one day we'll have to change it.
We will.
We'll have to change the project here, all kind of thing. And that's what I was saying to you. The Du River. The Kola people call it Tuko, meaning Tuko, after the Du River. The Bassa people and others call it Juba. But it's still the Du. It's still the Du. You see Dupo Road? I'm going to give you historical fact. Duport Road, I put drive, and I want you to do me that favor one day. When you get nothing to do, just say my people asked me to do something. He said I should drive straight down Duport Road. I'm not stop until I reach the end. You will see the canoes stay there today. It's where the canoes used to come with the fish. So the white people now, anywhere ship and canoe come, they call it port. So it's still the Do again. Tell it Dubo. To call the Du River, there. So they call it Duport Road. And people think that human being need. That's not human being. That's the port of the Du, where the canoes used to come for the Du River. Drive there now, you will see it. Straight down to the end of the road. So they call it Duport Road. No human being need Duport. That's the port of the Du River. Look, we got plenty to do. We're suffering. We're suffering. And that's why we believe that if genuine change is to come to Liberia, it will be the sons and daughters of Liberia, like you, who will make that determination that it's time to actually change. Unfortunately, some of us are getting old. Zwe is one of the wild animals I had. They own it now.
The DB.
Let 2 hours show you. That small fatty coming over here. Oh, God. So, but what we got on your end? I beg you. That small fatty coming over here. What we got on your end?
Yeah, so we have a lot happening in the country during the course of the weekend. The Coalition for Democratic Change, has been carrying on their primaries, not just in Montserrat, but all of the counties making up Liberia as well. They have their primaries ongoing. They've done with the 3 districts there in Bapolu and other counties, including Lofa, where T5 won on white ballot. But still with the primaries, representative of district number 2, Montserrat County, Jimmy Smith, I said the president put pepper in. The president, the president took his finger deep down in Connor Smith's eye. Remember when we witnessed the endorsement ceremony there, lawmakers endorsing the president, honorable, and we said there was a lot at play for that particular endorsement to have gone on, that it would have been a mutually beneficial agreement that led to
Exactly.
that. So Honorable Smith has come up to tell us that that thing was not for free. It wasn't for free. They had an agreement that we endorse you, then you will make sure that we certain legislators will be consensus candidates of the party. But he didn't know that the president was going to juke finger in your eye, according to him. You know, he's a retired police colonel. And I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to his investigative skills. You know, maybe he has lost some of his touch being in the House of Representatives there. You know, he's more of a lawmaker now than a security expert. So he didn't do background investigation. And I don't know if he didn't hear the speech from Mayor Koji, who's the head of the primaries committee, when he said that there will be no sacred cow. Whether the chat room that Honorable Smith in, there is another chat room in that chat room. And he's not in the other chat room. You know,
Yes.
there are chat rooms, right?
Chat room, yes.
Chat rooms. They have the one that everybody can be in and they can send general information. Then they get a paku there on a chat room. Then they get the pakus of the pakus. They are on a chat room different. So apparently, Honorable Jimmy Smith is not in the pakus of the pakus chat room.
Yeah.
And they in debt. He didn't get defeated, though. He got whipped massively. Massively whipped. In fact, when I'm mentioning the votes that he had, when they mention one vote to his name, people can be yelling, hey, hey. Even in Lofa. Madam Fofana was also dealt dirty. Oh yeah. She was dealt dirty in Lofa. Maramu, Honorable.
She just easy.
She was at the endorsement, wasn't she?
Oh
yeah. And
Jesus is a carpenter's son.
You can be a party member, but you cannot be a party insider.
Yeah.
And when you join a party, especially if you come from the other side, there is this issue of mistrust. People don't really trust you like that.
Right.
And there are also people that people want to push through. So we might see Madam Fofana going as independent, or she might just say, they think, you know, I won't be part of it anymore.
Hold it right there, Dama. There is something going on. My understanding is if you contest by the election law, and I'll start looking for it. If you contest in the primary of a party and you are defeated, you cannot contest. I'm going to look for it, yes.
Yeah, we have to look for that because we've seen people who lost primaries and then they've gone as independent candidates.
I will do my best to find it, hopefully maybe before the show says over. But Kula Fofana, you say, who are that endorsement? I hope I'm not dreaming.
Wait, though. Jerry, last, I got a whole list here.
Hey.
Let me go to the list and see. But Honorable Jimmy Smith, Nana, if you call your phone, you can't answer screen calls. I don't know what happening. You can't answer screen calls. And this thing was a long time coming. It was a long time coming. Wow. And I don't know if he had contingency plans, but it was a long time coming. If you look at it, the level of the conversation, the angle of the conversation,
right?
He was already not favored by a lot of CDC insiders, and some pro CDC stations have been going at him, and we've been following, you know, the unfoldings on social media. We see some of those who are CDC, you know, quote unquote journalists or talk show hosts. They've been going at him for a long time. So the entire turn trap was set in a way and beautifully decorated that, okay, all of you come and endorse us. And then when we go to the primaries, you know, we select the creme de la creme, those who are our people. And those who will us, they're not so much our people, who let them go. So he has suspended his membership from the CDC for what was done to him, what he termed as betrayal.
Hey!
Yeah, last minute betrayal. Yeah, it was Kula Fofana, so it was not Maramun Fofana. So just the correction there, it was Madam Kula Fofana.
Kula Fofana, okay.
Yes, Madam Kula Fofana as well. So these are some of those who maintained their seats in Montserrado County. All right. So we have some incumbents, you know, retaining their seats. We have some new faces, and we have some bloody noses as well. including
Okay.
Representative Smith. So we had Abu Kahar, District 15, retaining his seat within the party to be the party's candidate. Akaros Gray,
I'm
District 8.
suspecting he will lose.
Yeah. Josephine Davis.
Akaros Gray will definitely lose. That one, though, there's no if he will lose. He will lose.
Josephine Davis is going on the CDC's ticket.
Yeah,
DJ Blue.
10.
DJ Blue.
Who?
DJ Blue.
DJ Blue?
Yeah, District 17.
He will lose. He will lose.
Yeah, DJ Blue. District 17. They just have the pageant in that district as well. Yeah.
He will lose.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we also have Jimmy Smith has lost his seat, right, to Kokolo Bevo. And it wasn't a small defeat. Yeah. It wasn't a small defeat. It was like the people were already set up. We have Frank Safoko, district number 9, also retaining his candidacy for the party. And the rest of the others will bring you the comprehensive list from Bapolu, from Bong, and from the rest of the counties that the primaries have been conducted in. So please call Representative Smith. Yeah, you need to call him. And now he has exposed to us that whole endorsement was you endorse me, I support you thing. It wasn't clear heart love or loyalty. It was more about interest. And many of them, their interests have been met. They're going on the party ticket. But others, have been told you can contest somewhere else if you want to. But, we're interested in you.
Solomon George, there was a big noise behind Solomon George.
Yeah, but he won.
That's what I'm saying. But the noise, if it wasn't close, then I suspect a foul play.
Yeah. And Dixon Sibo also had it up his neck. Yeah, Representative Sibo. He also had it up his neck. He defeated one Wia in the primaries, but it was a very close call. It was very close. Solomon George defeated Frank Atus, the actor.
But Frank Atus was not a serious contender. He just recently joined the CDC, and I think that's where he made his mistake.
Frank Atus just joining the CDC. His wife is a minister.
I work with his wife. He just went and pledged his support to George Weah and Rhoda Webb Barrett. I work with his wife, Margaret. And I just didn't start knowing Margaret from ministry. I started knowing Margaret from the time she was small on 12th Street. We were neighbors.
The same way you used to carry football from Councilor Pagone, eh?
Pagone, I never even saw him say, look at Pagone, look at somebody who play my own. They ain't even allow him to count all of the things.
I can enjoy the match driving in the morning. I can pass by him almost every morning. You can notice me. He can be behind the steering.
Hold straight, perfectionists. They want to be perfect at everything, and that's where they make the mistake. But Frank Atus, if he had gone as an independent, he would have beaten Solomon easy. Solomon George is not well liked. You need to consider the CDC as a group. Because if you're not part of them, for them to allow you in that inner circle, it's difficult. So he made a huge mistake going against Solomon George in a primary as opposed to going against Solomon George in the general. The people there do not like Solomon George at all. Majority of them. They are angry with him. He's angry with George Weah because what we are promised for him, Weah did not deliver. So he couldn't do much. For Frank Atus to leverage, I don't know who misled him. They carried him to the slaughterhouse, the political slaughterhouse, and dealt him there. So again, if you look at what happened, that CDC primary, you have this lady, some power from Liberty Party, from Wede Power.
Yeah.
You have two other strong people in that place. It will be difficult for Solomon George to survive. But Dixon Sibo.
Is it the same district that Emmanuel Dan will also be contesting in?
That's the guy that is leading right now in that zone. In my polls, Emmanuel Dan is leading Solomon George, followed by wielded power neck and neck with Solomon George. But Dixon Sibo is likely not to survive. He is likely not to survive. Because you see, Diamond, in legislative elections or parliamentary elections, as we refer to it in political science, there is always, for our country, its uniqueness of the simple majority.
It is
now,
a simple majority.
In your own party, you go neck to neck. You divide a vote in your party. To unite those people will be difficult. They already don't like you. You see where I'm coming from? Then the men you're supposed to face got his own people. Your party already blunder. Your own people don't like you. You are not likely to survive. And that's for Solomon George, Akaros Gray, Dixon Sibo. Those three people are highly likely to be replaced. They are my friends. They are my friends, but I'm just telling you that the situation will be difficult. Extremely difficult. And so I don't know how they're going about it, but I know for a fact we've been having some serious problems with their primaries and some what we call gaffes. We heard one from Soko, Frank Soko or something like that.
Frank Soko.
Foko said he would lobby hard to make George Weah a one-term president. Let's get a gist of that video. You know, people can misspeak. He misspoke, but in politics, we call it gaffes. When you make it, we use it against you. And we play it so that the people can laugh.
He later corrected himself.
That's why I'm saying he corrected himself, but we call it gaffes. And so we got to enjoy ourselves with it. So let's see if you can put it up on the screen before we go further.
1 minute. It's loading. It is loading.
My nephew and son, my big brother, Mr. Masaya Kokwe, who participated into this process. We truly appreciate the fact that you participated, and we look forward to working with you. And I can assure you, Mr. Masaya Kokwe, tomorrow morning, the entire district number 9 leadership CDC, we are coming to have a breakfast with you so that we can form a strategic team to see how best President Weah becomes a one-term president. To all of us who went our separate ways within the party, you did not do wrong. It is your constitutional right.
So we're going to see more of these. Let's see what Josephine said. You got Josephine? I will take time.
Give it a minute. Let me look for this.
Let's see what Josephine Davis, District 10, said. These are political gaps. You remember the one Magibee said he entered
2005.
2005, graduated 2001.
That we have done, that we did over the 6 years. We got few more months. We will not insult you. That we have done, that we did over the 6 years. We will not insult you. That we have done, that we did over the 6 years.
We will not insult you like we did over the 6 years. Over the 6 years, you are not causing it, man. You did not insult him over the last 6 years. But you see, when you're speaking and the movement somehow is tense, that's why you heard, you just like Magibee, we will not insult you like we did. We did over the last 6 years. That you are causing the man over the last 6 years. You are not causing it, so you did not do that. Even though the English component of that, but we're not English people, so we're not brand people. But the idea she's suggesting that somehow they were causing the man over the last 6 years. And that's not what she meant. I'll be the first to say that is not what she meant. But it's all, you're going to see these things over the period. For at least half of all the constituency in the election. Okay. Are you there, Damo?
Yeah, Mr. Fagon, just continue. I'm trying to make some backroom calls to get some verified information as well.
Okay. So again, let me say to you, the Liberian people, we have a very delicate situation while we're waiting for our friend and brother Diamond to give us what we're looking for. Let me say this to you. We have a situation right now in the country, and that's going to form the basis of my question today. So let me start the process by educating you all on what you know, I got to go to this guy they call Del Francis Rare page to verify this information. If it's true that he said that, then this is horrible, but I'll come to that. But let me be able to tell you what's going on in the country right now, Dharma, before we proceed.
So, Mr. Fagon, just information to make sure this is reliable info 360.
Exactly.
And we need to always give reliable information as well. We had a misidentity issue when we talked about the CDC primaries in Lofa County. So Madam Kula Fofana is actually from the Unity Party, and she will be contesting in Grand Cape Mount County. It was Representative Maramu Fofana, Lofa District 4, who lost her seat in the CDC primaries in our county. And I just spoke with our Lofa County correspondent. You know, names can be messed up, and
of course there's Fofana. So yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah. So according to our Lofa County correspondent, and he spoke with a member of her office staff, she has not accepted the result. Say they cheated her. The result wasn't fair. It wasn't based on the agreement that they had, and she's not going to accept. And he just spoke to me that she's not answering calls from journalists, but her office staff has hinted that she's going to run on the ticket of another party, or she will go as an independent candidate. But she's not going to allow that happen. Yeah, that the primaries, according to the office staff, was rigged, and hence the result was cooked. So she's not going to accept it. Like Jimmy Smith, she said they've juke finger in her eye. Yeah. If they could go back and turn back the hands of time, she wouldn't be part of that endorsement ceremony that happened at the CDC's headquarters. Yeah. So that's just the information I wanted to give. That's why I told you I was making a call in the background.
So right now in our polls, in my polls in the country, I have my polls showing McGill, Nathaniel Fallow McGill, in the lead amongst all the candidates there, including Tonola. What is most, and you know why I'm bringing this issue, is because I'm watching Spoon TV also, and McGill is appearing at the SKD right now.
Yeah, to get registered.
And you know on whose ticket he's going to get registered, right?
The CDC, he won on white ballot.
So for Magibee, what happened to Tonola?
And you are at the endorsement. So the whole thing, if you look at the whole thing, like they had already given their quota and they were expecting to be given in return.
But that is why they were used. They said, do this thing first, then we'll come back. And they went there, the Morris said, Tumao, the who, you know, I'm just looking at them. Mana Bishop. But Mana Bishop said he wasn't there. So we are waiting for Mana Bishop to call the station or come up with a press conference to say I did not do it and I wasn't there. Anything to the contrary, Damon, your name were on the list. Why are you quiet? You know what I mean?
And you know what happening now? According to an insider source, Mayor Koji has been refusing to answer certain calls. Because you know the thing is being done from different counties and is progressing on.
Of
So
course.
the purge, when you see say your own friend and fun in the trap, they're calling, ball coach, you know our agreement with ball coach. Yeah. So, yeah.
This is crazy.
It's not easy. So everybody now, especially those who they haven't conducted primaries in their counties, they're on their toes. Because what they had expected was Mr. McGill would have been, denied running on the party's ticket, and he would have
because Siri Allen said it.
Yeah.
Siri Allen said it.
So that was what Senator Tonola was depending on. That okay, we'll look at this whole sanction issue and we'll say, okay, he can go on the party ticket for integrity's sake and not to make the Americans angry. But again, if you thought that was what was going to happen, why didn't you throw your hat in a race? You decided to abstain from the process, and he won on white ballot. Now you're saying, okay, the party shouldn't accept the decision, they should veto it. No, he's going to register as a CDC candidate now. So Mr. Tonola now, Honorable Tonola, is either going to run as an independent candidate, which is going to make the race, even tougher than it is for him, because he was.
My thing is, and I'm going to look for someone to tell me, because my understanding is that there is somewhere in the election laws that if you run in a primary and you get flogged for a particular party, then you cannot, but I don't want to say it, this is radio. I want to wait until, because I'm looking through the stuff, but I will do it and then I will get back to correct it.
As well. I'm looking through the new election law as well to see if there is that provision. But we've also seen that people have lost party primaries and gone as independent candidates or even flipping to another party. That is why parties are doing their primaries, if any. If it's a popular vote primary or whether it's a nomination or consensus process, they're doing it before the 14th of July, because that is when candidate nomination and registration, ends in Liberia. So if you go on to contest a party's primary ticket and you don't win, then you still have time to register as an independent candidate. So that is why parties are doing it before the deadline of the NEC, which is July 14th. But I've not come across any part of the law that says, if you lose on a party's primary ticket, you cannot then go, to register as an independent candidate or not. Because remember, it's also disenfranchising you. Going for a party's primary is in no way, against the NEC law. And if you lose, you still do have the right, if you legally enfranchised, to go and register and run as an independent candidate. It's your constitutional right. So would there be a law that will go against that, especially if you haven't broken anything according to the NEC codes and laws? That's the thing. But I'm looking through as well. I'm going to call the head of communications at the NEC, Mr. Flomo, to also let me know.
I think we should do that. It's important.
So let me call him up.
For educational purposes, I think we should do that. Can we play an interlude or something?
Mr. Fagonja, continue on the show. Let me call Mr. Henry Flomo. It will take
because I want to be able to. Anyway, there is a. For those of you watching, if you're just joining us, the point we're trying to make is this. For example, Tonola and Nukwe of the PUP, People's Unification Party, went ahead and pledged their support for the Coalition for Democratic Change. So that means they joined. They went in and they joined. By joining, they became members. I'm going to verify this with a constituent member of the coalition, because the coalition document is very clear. I don't know what the new one says. Maybe I'm giving an education. But the old one, when there is an incumbent, there was something about the incumbent being given preferential treatment. Now, many had anticipated that Honorable Nathaniel Fallow McGill would not have been placed on the party's ticket because, according to them, he had been flagged. But some of us argue that a person is not guilty of a crime until he or she is found guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. And so therefore, there has been serious allegation, but not an indictment or conviction. Therefore, if he's presumed innocent until proven guilty, the fact that he is not guilty means that he's innocent. So now, Siri Allen said that McGill will not be allowed on the party ticket. I'm sure Tonola and Nukwe followed this intensely. And in order for Tonola to maintain his seat, Tonola and Nukwe from the People's Unification Party will proceed to join the CDC. But from all of our polls conducted, inevitably, McGill, Nathaniel Fallow McGill, is the favorite to win in Magibee. Say what you want. He's leading in the polls. And because CDC does not want to lose the seat, McGill was then elected on the white ballot. So what becomes of Tonola and Nukwe? Nukwe is not running. It is Tonola's seat up for grabs. What would Tonola do? What can Tonola do now? The PUP is not a constituent member of the Coalition for Democratic Change. The fact that they endorse Josh Weah does not make them a constituent member. The fact that they have decided to collaborate does not make them a constituent member. So, what will Tonola do? McGill, as we speak, is now at the SKD Sports Complex, presenting his documentation to stand on the CDC ticket for Magibee. Beltwawe will do the same for Riverses. Where do we stand now? Where do we stand? So again, we are making this analysis for you so as to give you an idea of what is playing out within the political arena of our country. Again, if you're just joining us, you're joining Reliable Info 360. We are on several radio outlets, and we're discussing primaries as they are taking place in the country, especially with the CDC. And the CDC as a political party is somewhat embroiled in a lot of disagreement right now with many of the supporters that joined them. I'm going to see if I can place a call. I really want to bring you two facts. When I was in the CDC, an incumbent was to be given preferential treatment. Has it changed? Has it changed? If not, then what's going on? But here is one fact that you cannot take away. And I need you to listen and listen carefully. If Fofana in District 4 Nimba County runs as an independent, that is going to take away some votes from the CDC. You must understand that legislative elections ends with a simple majority. So I'm going to give you an example of what we're chasing here. If the CDC put John Brown there, and you got Mariama Fofana, and you got somebody for the CPP, and we either have Steve Zago or Kotimai, the likelihood of the opposition winning in Lofa is clear. Because Fofana and the CDC men will divide their votes. But the opposition vote will remain intact. Let's look at Dixon Sibo. The same applies for Dixon Sibo. Dixon Sibo and the guy went neck to neck. So I can tell you this and take it to the bank. If his people are not satisfied, they will not vote for Dixon Sibo. And Dixon Sibo is being chased right now. He is not likely to win because of that. As for Akara's grade, I can tell you for a fact, winning is not on his side. Not only because of his primaries, but because the people, his own people. So again, McGill is in the hot water. Solomon George. We saw Solomon George in the primary. He struggled. And his people were angry. And they said they will replace him with a guy by the name of Emmanuel Dan. But the man he went neck to neck with, Frank Atus, who is not an original guy. He supported CDC just like any other person. But he was not in the middle of CDC. 2017, I remember him supporting George Weah, helping, but he's not in. So Solomon George beat him. Damo, what you got?
Okay,
Solomon
so I have been trying to get information and got an information from within the CDC, and it says the reason we did see others, not participating or not being present, especially those who were vying to be the party's candidate, is that there is a committal bond that you have to sign before you participate in the primaries, that if you lose, you are not going to contest in the elections. If you lose the primaries, you are not going to contest in the elections as either an independent candidate or on the ticket of another party. So that's why you saw a number of them withdraw from the process once they knew that the process wasn't going to be in their favor. Because, once you sign that committal bond, you cannot participate as an independent or on the ticket of another party.
Who did the committal bond come from? The party or the NEC?
The committal bond comes from the party. So again, once you sign onto that, you could go on again and say, okay, fine, I cannot. This is against the law because the law tells me that I have the right to participate once I'm legally, of sound mind and legally cleared by the Constitution. I can participate. So all these things is just at the party level. Remember, there should be no law that will supersede the Constitution.
Of course.
Yeah, there should be no law that will supersede the Constitution. So if by signing that committal bond is going to make you not to be, eligible to contest for which legally you should be or you are, then, it's against. So for them not to, go there and argue that, okay, this committal bond is legal or is illegal, they then, decided to withdraw from the primaries. That's why you saw some people winning on white ballot, like Tonola, not contesting because this committal bond would have held him, accountable. So you signed the committal bond with the CDC, not the NEC.
So then you see, that means Madam Fofana and Colonel Smith, may have signed a committal bond. But here is it, though. The Constitution in Article 2 is very clear. Still, you can't stop them. They committed to your party. But if your party's paperwork violates their constitutional right, then, my friend, you are joking. You are playing with fire. And the CDC will lose a lot of seats, Damo, from the way they're conducting their primaries. And I'm confident in what I'm saying. The CDC only went for Magibee because all the polls show that he's leading. Because of that, they want to win that seat. But it depends on Magibee how he plays his card. If he plays too much on the side of the CDC, he could be in some serious trouble. He could be in some serious trouble. But I'll turn over to you, Damo, before we go to other matters. Let's hear from our Liberian people halfway down the mark of the show. They too have something to say.
So before we go to the phone lines, I was in conversation with Mr. Henry Flomo of the NEC, and he did point us to the particular portion of the NEC law, the new election law, to look at qualifications. So he said we should look at qualifications, and you see what qualifies or disqualifies someone from registering, as a candidate to contest elections in the country. So we'll look at that. And just a quick one. The issue of those who signed the committal bond, again, once it is against the Constitution, it is null and void. Because if you say, okay, I signed a committal bond, doesn't matter, say contract and agreement and all of that, but then which supersedes what? And for these people to look at the whole process of going to challenge the CDC in the Supreme Court to show whether it's constitutional or not, by the time you're done with that entire process, candidate registration period will be over.
Who tell you they will go challenge the people? They go you will go sue them.
Yeah, the party remains supreme in all cases. So those who have lost still have got the constitutional rights to go and register, whether as independent or on another party's ticket. The only thing is there's going to be bad blood. There's going to be bad blood, and that is not going to stop them as well. So at the end of the day, if we look at the primaries, though Mayor Koji said there wouldn't have been secret cows or sacred cows, there have been sacred cows. If you look at the primaries, there have been. All of this is just to say it was a democratic process. The party didn't handpick people. It was done by delegates from the districts, and they selected those who they want to run on a party ticket. If you look at it, there have been sacred cows. If you look at those who have been ostracized and kicked out of the contest of running on a party's ticket, many of them, they've been in hot waters with the party, or they just coming on board. They cannot be trusted as much, and the CDC have decided to ditch them as, heavyweights, as, they're going to be bringing them back. So now if you want to argue, they will tell you it was a democratic process. It was a popular vote process. We didn't handpick people, though we told you that there will be no sacred cow, there will be no consensus candidates. These candidates were elected. You should have played your game well to have gotten yourself elected on a party ticket. So that is that. So let's go to the phone lines. What is the general question?
Regarding the electoral process, okay. My question will be that I want to look at some of the candidates that have not performed during these 6 years. Let people be able to call from within the district, whether it be Solomon George, Akaras Gray, Dixon Sibo, Tunnel, wherever they call from. Can they tell us something about their lawmaker and tell us whether or not? It doesn't matter whether the person is a sedition or not. Are they more likely to carry on with the current lawmaker they have? Because if you look at the premise of my question is born out of the fact, Diamond, that Akaras Gray, Dixon Sibo, Solomon, it's like the party is imposing these people on their very people. So if we ask the question, are they likely to vote for the current lawmaker that would make sense. They'll be able to tell us. Let them speak to their lawmaker in their district or wherever they find themselves.
Okay, so let's go to the phone lines, but we should also remember that during the registration process, we did see a lot of trucking, and this is only going to get worse, Mr. Fagon, because looking at what some of us who were on the field did witness, many of these decisions will not be made by the actual electors of those districts. They will be made by hired voters, and once that is done, the danger of this is once you pay the man $30, he comes to vote for you, and the man knows that if he looks at the statistics, they do have the stats that he's not favored in the district anymore, but he's been able to buy his way into winning. Is he going to be accountable to those in the district? No, he's not. He's not going to be accountable to those.
It's former Team Tamo.
No, I'm just saying that is
the people that we're going to call now are actually people in their districts. It would have given us the truckers. They ain't talking because the truckers then said they would call from within their own district where they're not voting you, but it would give us an insight as to the favorability or likability of the candidate in the district where these people reside. It would tell me and you as to whether some of these people that they are pushing back stand a chance. Let's go to the phone lines. You'll see what will happen there.
Okay. 077771075 055101075. Those are the numbers to call. Would you be voting to retain your current lawmaker, or you'll be voting for a new person to represent you at the district and the county level come October 10, 2023? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dixon, and I call from District 2, Marshall County, where Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Dennis Smith remained the choice of the people.
Even after he was beaten massively in the party's primary.
Let me make this clear that Honorable Smith did not participate in the primary. He did not sign any document with the so-called CDC because
now the CDC is now the so-called CDC.
Hello?
Is now you calling the CDC as the so-called CDC.
So for the time, I'm not a physician. I voted.
The information you given, just 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, sir. The information you given. What is your proximity to the information?
I live in a district.
You living in a district. And what I want to know from you is you giving information. Hold on 1 minute, sir. Please hold on 1 minute. This is fact checking. You giving information that Honorable Jimmy Smith did not sign any commuter bond with the CDC, and he didn't participate in the process, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So my question to you is, what is your proximity to the information? How did you come by that information? Are you in his office? Did you get the information from an office staff? Do you have the information, or you just in a district and you heard and you say?
I work with Honorable Jimmy W. Smith within his office.
As
I am a logistics to him. Okay. And I work with him.
What's your name?
We gave you the PRO number, which is Alfred Dennis Stoker, and which was for the day of that primary. Jimmy Smith was even closer to that primary. And the reason why you hear Jimmy Smith is because the farmer was talking about paying the speaker. And Jimmy Smith never told him to pay so much money. So let's get it clear. Honorable Smith did not participate.
Let him give you the PR number. Let him give you the PR number.
Hello, sir.
This is what's going to happen.
Please, so you knew that was going to happen. So then, how come a name surfaced? And he had some votes as well. How come that happened?
The people who said everybody have loyalty for you because some.
So has he suspended his membership? Has he suspended his membership from the party?
And somebody decide to cancel a vote, but not participate. And even those that voted, those that voted, they give a different district because our district part to the district headquarters when a yellow truck came from another district, and we see people that were coming from our district.
Okay.
They came with one yellow how you call it, kilo bean.
Your district not big.
Yeah,
your district not big.
So
your district not big.
The primary was fraudulent and Smith did not participate in the process.
1 minute, sir. Your district not big.
But the district too is very big.
So you expect people that are coming from different parts of the district to rock kilo bean? Were they not delegates from all over the district?
The reason is, the reason is people have, like, those who are to participate in the primary, according to them, they should be from the party and from Zuna here. And we know all the Zuna here within District 2.
And you know all their delegates.
Yes. So those are even the
all right, just give me the PR number. Please give me the PR number.
The youth here.
Please give me the PR number, sir. Please give me the PR number from the Honorable Smith's office.
Okay, I will text it to you on this number.
All right, do that, please. Do that, yeah. So he now suspended membership on the party.
Yes, he suspended membership on the party.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So the logistics officer, at first he didn't want to state his proximity to the information. He said, "I'm just residing in a district." But you just residing in a district. How come you giving us information, of such a nature? Then he said, "Okay, our logistics officer in the office." So you are hiding your.
And you got some truth for him. The truth is, he's one of the guys who you can clearly see is angry.
So
and clearly it's like they were played. He said something about 500 to the speaker office. I don't know what it took to the speaker office. But let's go ahead. Let's take the calls from the people.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the number of the PR Alfred Tokba. Somebody has sent it in the comment section. I'm trying to get that number. We'll go to the phone lines though, but this is Reliable Info 360, and we need to give you the reliable information as well. So let's take this person here. I'll be calling Alfred Tokba as well. Hello? Yes, let's hear you out, please. Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is Prince Morris, calling from.
You calling from where?
Bombing
County. What district in Bombing are you calling from?
I'm calling from the 1.
Okay. District 1, 2, or 3?
3.
District 3. Good. Would you be retaining your current lawmaker or you'll be voting for change?
I'm voting for change.
Okay. All right.
Yes, say to that man, Amonio.
Before I leave the land, I beg you, Honorable Fagon, how are you doing?
Amonio?
I'm aware. I want you to please text me on the number Fagon with discussion. It's serious with you after. Please, let them give you my number, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a paper there.
All right. Thank you. You voting for internet on now, eh?
Oh, who will be?
Bye-bye.
Damo, you fool of it. You see why I asked this question, Damo? Because the actual people in the district, when I talk about the play where they care them for the territory, they will talk about the play where they live in.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even if you've gone to register in another district and now you call in to say, okay, you vote in your district, there's a person you're voting for. You know clearly you don't have voting rights in that particular district. You just distorting the fact. And when these results come up, then it will be different. Hello?
Hello. Yeah, hello. My man. When you're hoping to learn the time for all the talk now, I want to lay time to don't be eating our time, okay?
Sorry.
Sorry.
You're not your time,
yeah? Thank you so much. My name is Noah Zawu Gibson.
No, I thought you ought to be in America.
Yeah, I retired. I never went to America to stay there forever.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
I retired. I've been here now for a week now.
All right. Welcome back.
Even when I was there, I spoke with my brother Honorable Fagon. I'm a resident of District 2, but currently I'm speaking to you from District 12.
Why can you District 12?
To be honest, Honorable Smith didn't get defeated in the CDC primary. He wouldn't still getting re-elected in that district. Let me be honest with you. That district is a unity party district. That district doesn't belong to CDC. Honorable Smith did not win in 2017 because of CDC. He won because people in that district on the Unity Party voted for him on the basis of sympathy because of what happened in the 2011 Unity Party primary. It was on that basis for which he won. So even had he not...
What happened in the 2011 Unity Party primaries?
Yeah. Say that?
What happened During the 2011 United Party primaries.
Well, the 2011 United Party primaries, there were a lot of electorate who favor him from the United Party end. They wanted him to have gotten on the party ticket, but unfortunately he was defeated by Honorable Kane. So they felt that the party gave them the wrong choice.
So that his second turn in his election, in his political career, that primaries have done him dirty.
Yes, because of that, that was how he ran to the CDC in 2011, but yet still Honorable Kane defeated him. So 2017, people from the Unity Party felt that just by Honorable Kane was going for re-election on our party ticket, but they still favor him on the basis of sympathy. That's how he got elected. But not on the basis of CDC. That district is not a CDC district. But let me tell you on this note. Let me conclude on this note. Why it's true I'm not a sedition and I'm not in favor of Timmy Smith, but the decision CDC made, Timmy Smith will not win, but he will get more votes than the man that they brought on that ticket. I can guarantee you that Smith will not win, but he will get a better vote than even the buffer who just got nominated on the party ticket. Because mind you, Damo, you must understand that some of these people, they truck people. Somebody aspiring to truck people. So, for example, if I truck my people and my interest when I met, my people can even vote against the CDC on the basis of anger, transfer aggression.
Okay.
So I just want to tell you.
Thank you.
Honorable Kane is poised to returning to the legislature on the United Party ticket in a
entire resting for 6 years now, eh?
Thank you.
All right. Entire resting for 6 years, eh?
My man, what I'm telling you, I am speaking to you authoritatively as Assistant Secretary General for Social Welfare of the United Party.
And you have all of the numbers in your possession.
No, it's not about having all the numbers in my possession, but the fact is, I understand the political happening of that district.
Okay.
That district, do your survey, they are opening the line now. Everybody that calls on that district, ask them. If you get 10 calls on that district, city will tell you they are not United Party.
Okay.
It will tell you they're from United Party.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Noah. Thank you. Let's take this person here. Hello. Let's hear you out, please.
Let me say good afternoon to using Fabon. This is Jackson Pemba, and I'm phoning from the lower Magibee County where I reside. It is quite unfortunate upon hearing that the CDC has decided to parade with this sanctioned criminal.
No, he's not a criminal. He has been accused, not by the Liberian government, but by a foreign government. He has not been convicted of any crime. Let's make use of the words properly. He's not. We'll not accept that, sir.
If you have been accused of stealing from school members, and perhaps your boss, your CEO, decided not to pursue you in terms of the U.S. law, but for the fact that your character has been treated.
Does it make me a guilty person? That's the question.
The issue is you have the greater responsibility.
Does it make me a guilty person?
Beyond all reasonable doubt.
No, the issue is, does it make me a guilty person? That's the question. Being accused of something and being convicted of something, they are two different things.
Magibee have not exerted sufficient pressure on the government of Liberia to make sure that the character has been clear out.
I
is
think
his responsibility or is it?
Because the burden of proof rests on the accuser, not the accused.
I have interest in contesting our senatorial seat in Magibee County to exert more pressure on the Liberian government as a way of allowing a full opportunity to clear the record since he decided to contest. But for the fact that he decided to remain mute, it speaks volumes. We want to silence him, and we will not sit here to have somebody who has been censored.
Who would you be voting for? That is the question. Magibee County senatorial and representative seat.
We'll get to that point, but let me conclude.
No, we have to get to the point because there are other callers on the line. Please conclude. Conclude because
people have invested a lot into our first sector in Magibee County, and they have helped practitioners or administrator on record for stealing our money. We will not have another rule be elected as senator of our country.
Sir, we have to leave it at that. It seems like you still want to be bent on using words without, taking into consideration that.
Right, Dama, I
when
beg
you
you
use
before you
words,
take the next caller, let me say to the guy, a person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But you cannot accuse me of stealing chicken and you say I should defend myself. I thought you're supposed to prove that I stole the chicken. What we are saying here is in no way trying to back Honorable McGill. What we're telling you, when you come on our program, don't come there to insult people, calling them rogues because you support your candidate. Please. Thank you.
The man is from the French judicial system. That is where you have to prove why you shouldn't be found guilty. Yeah, let's take this person here. Hello.
Hello, Damo.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you out, please.
Let me say good afternoon to my friend and brother Eugene Falcon. This is DJ Lomet, Vice Chair for Administration Board Acting Tank. Look, Damo, you see, when God ready to lift you or to lift you, when God ready to move from behind you. Madam Fufana then got elected on the Unity Party ticket. For me, I'm not for Unity Party, I'm for the MPP. But I told those guys, and I even told Manager, I said that place is going. It will be better for you. At the end of the day, you will regret it. But all along, she has been seeing it. But the few times she wanted ready to say, I have one Minister of State frustrating me. Thank God he's not in power again. I'm free today to go all. So let me say this to the citizens. That is Democrat endorsement. For some of us, we say they are going down there. They are waiting one more time. You see someone coming back to say, oh, they made mistake of going to endorse the CDC. And what's happening now? Look, those guys that have talked people into the various districts, that now they went on the CDC primary and rejected them just because of politics. At the end of the day, the guys will take that Democrat people to vote against those people that were against the sedition. So at the end of the day, they will lose. Look, they see here, they put the the opposition, they like to get up, they didn't know, but what happened in CDC now, you can say that the MPP, the very MPP that joined it, the chairman decided to leave. They don't see that one there, but anything happening, Unity Party or the ANC, they will be running away. Oh, the opposition, they are not serious. So who's serious in the case here? You are letting people down now. They are coming out to tweet, they are coming out to us now and telling us that they couldn't endorse it because of why you said that you will be on the ticket. By the end of the day, you play black on them and kick them off. CDC.
So who will you be voting for? Your district representative retaining or changing?
For me, I for 2015, I can't vote for Abu Kamara because the kind of thing that record Abu Kamara got. We know where the guy is at. At the end of the day, he took money that you are not working for. Why that was improving? So when I say Abu Kamara is a people who say a lie, it is true because he confessed. And yeah, he took the money you are not working for. At the end of the day, you have to pay back. Okay. So how you call that?
All right, for that he confessed and then said he was going to pay. So that is substantial information with evidence to back. Yeah, what we're saying is you don't come and make claims that has not been substantiated as of yet, and you want us to accept that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's take this person here on the line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling us from?
I told you to call the chief of staff office. Let me give a number to you.
No, somebody already gave it. Somebody already gave the number, Sam. I appreciate you, but somebody has already given the number, and the issue of announcing other people's numbers on air. I'm not a fan of that. Somebody already sent the number, so we'll call that number. I appreciate the fact that you wanted to make good on your promise. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
So the baby already answering screen calls.
He is okay. He can answer any call. If you get the number, he call you answer. He's not even bad about those things. You just said, well, we don't get us. Well, I can just say nothing happened.
Y'all were acting like nothing happened, but y'all know something happened. All right, brother.
Let's try the man number. Colonel Smith, if you're somewhere listening to us, we are about to call you.
All right, thank you. So you calling Colonel Smith, right?
No, go ahead with the people. We'll call him when we're leaving the people.
We'll call him. Man, they're acting like nothing happened. Yeah. Hello.
Let's do 1 minute per caller, please. 1 minute.
Let's hear you out, please. Go ahead.
Yes, let me say good afternoon to the well-known minister. My name is Joe Kamo. I joined from Magibee County, RRA. I listened to the minister and he spoke lengthily, and I choose to waive in just because my country was mentioned, so I choose to waive in. The issue of our country is very clear. Autonoma is not a factor in our election right now as we speak. So we will not tell you that we want to retain the incumbent senator in our county. But the session and former minister of state coming into our country, there were our problem lies. Because the former minister of state were accused of corruption. So we think that the session minister who was suspended by the president, because the fact that the president really accepted the fact that he was censured and suspended and he resigned as a minister, he should have pressurized the government too, so that the fight can be established. But we play it just here to it and now in addition to this part. And some of us we are progressive. We believe in progressivity. We will not allow someone who is censured, meaning he had Peter character already.
So who would you be voting for?
What?
Who would you be voting for?
Yes, well, he was censured on the U.S. government.
No, my question is, who would you be voting for? Since you say you're now retaining Senator Tonola.
I support the Unity Party, so I will be supporting Honorable Balaji, who is the candidate of the Unity Party.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right.
He said something that is very profound.
Yeah.
He said if the president can accept and suspend him and then force his dismissal, then and put him back on the assembly ticket, on the CDC ticket, then of course I think he said something. Let's just admit that he said something.
Okay, let's take this person here. Hello. Whoa, sir! Don't do that to us, please. When you call, just reduce the volume of your radio. Just do that so that we can have the feedback. It's terrible. Hello. 077771075 055101075. Those are the numbers to call, and you'll be live on Reliable Info 360. Would you be retaining your current lawmaker, or you'll be voting for change? And if so, why? Hello. Hello. Okay. Probably that person was trying the number for God can bless anybody on Sunday. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you calling us from? Go ahead. Would you be voting for your current lawmaker? You say even a president, we have raises the hand of Representative Sibo, you would not vote for him?
Hello.
Are you saying the orange mini man when I made you to hear me buy your data or you just move on side quickly? Are you saying that even if the president raises the hand of Representative Sibo, you are not going to vote for him? Okay, so we lost him there. Apparently, the orange mini person, Hello?
Hello.
Let's hear you out, please.
I'm Princeton B. Mary calling you from Bath Street, District Number 2, Johnsonville.
Go ahead.
Honorable Smith, I think the CDC make a big mistake because if you're looking at Honorable Smith and let him go, my brother, my vote for Smith, my wife vote for Smith, and we would not vote for the CDC government that is in power besides Smith.
Okay, thank you.
That's the decision.
Thank you. The Smith boys and rest out from Hello. Hello.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine. Is this Spoon FM?
It is Spoon FM, sir. Let's hear you out.
Okay. Fagon Nassau, Leo.
Hey, go Nassau.
Thank you very much. I'm Solomon Joe calling you from Bombay County, in the Federal District 3, the biggest town in Bombay County. You see, what is going on is a clear manifestation that the CDC is about to fall. So there is an air whether CDC will retain the leadership of this country. Nothing like that. So it is.
So who would you be voting for? Who would you be voting for?
From there, it is good to apply from the old man. You have to apply the new man. We let this place us. We let this place up. We thought the president would do something better for us at this time. But instead of being paid over $5,000,
in your district, who would you be voting for? Would you be retaining your current lawmaker, or you be voting for a new one?
But man, for me, I'll be voting for a new representative.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. It's our pleasure to take your calls as well. Hello. Afternoon. Let's hear you out.
My name is Chukaf. Some of this weather, and I call you from Tishwita.
Go ahead, please.
I'm still voting for my quarry lawmaker, which is Honorable Yage Cordoba. I don't need any change because I believe he's the best lawmaker for this district.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you there.
Simple, short, and sweet.
Straight to the point. Yeah, boy, yo.
Yeah, you see, in the diamond, let me be frank. That's my brother. But this guy said something profound. He said, when the allegations were made, the president immediately suspended Honorable McGill. Then McGill himself called for the president to institute a speedy investigation. That I remember. But the president did not do that, thereby forcing McGill to resign. So now, you, president, do that. Then the same man you took out of your government, you forced to resign, then you put him on your party ticket and say the people should vote for him.
That symbolizes trust.
Yes, it means you still trust the guy. So if you trusted the guy, why you suspended him when the allegation was made? And why you have not sought to clear this man's name, even though this man wrote a long letter, which is available today, asking you to investigate him.
You think that a rope will hold bush? If you hold rope will hold bush kind of thing, you know, it was all a pseudo suspension kind of thing. Like, okay, let's make our international partners, specifically the Americans, happy, you know, by doing that. And then we can say the Liberian people voted him, which is a popular democracy. He has the right to be elected if he's not disqualified as per our election guidelines. But the question now is, what message does it send out
to the voters
who want to help us? And we say, okay, help us rid corruption and all of these things. And they're doing that because for the Americans to come and sanction you, they must have enough evidence to have done so, and they are willing to share. So it's either the Liberian government, they didn't reach out to be assisted like they did in the 16 billion thing. The government was quick to say, okay, we need American intervention to clear our name. So we know that we are not trusted when information comes from us as the government. People take it with a pinch of salt. But if we say, okay, the Americans are involved, then it brings a whole different level of trustworthiness to the debate. So if at all it was a serious thing that the government really was serious, don't you think they would have asked the Americans in a fast-paced manner, you know, a fast-track manner that, okay, yeah, these allegations are grave, especially for somebody who was in close proximity to the president, and also it will help the president in getting rid of, you know, suspicions. Now, if McGill was close to you and he's been accused of such, meaning some way, somehow, you are involved by association. You know, it's either you didn't exercise your authority well enough or he was too powerful to have done what he did. Now, as a president, and if I'm president and I'm concerned, is a way of clearing my name as well. But
that's what I'm saying. That's the stigma.
Rope will hold bush. So the best thing now to do is not hold a rope at all and let it play out.
And this is why I think the guy's statement was profound. You said they accused this man. You ran quickly the next day. You suspended the man. You said the man can't work in your government. You kicked the man out of your government. The man wrote you a letter and said, I would like to defend myself. Please investigate me. From that day till now, the man asked you for investigation. You have not investigated him. But you put the man on your ticket to run. There is some form of confusion there. Now people are going to try to use that against him. I think you can see what's happening now with the CDC. It's like, let the people decide. But whether you work in the Senate, you work in the House of Representatives, you work in the judiciary, or you work as a cabinet minister, the Liberian government is the Liberian government. You cannot kick him out of the government pending the outcome of his case, then take him and put him on your party ticket. If he win, why you become battle? At the church or at the government?
To the government.
It's going to be coming back to the government.
And as a high-ranking member of the government as well, and the party, you know,
in the Senate.
In the Senate as well.
So,
and just quickly, there is a serious proxy war that is ongoing in Magibee County. You know, I've been following this closely since Honorable Magio made his entry into Magibee. You know, he was previously contemplating on running in Bong. That was why you saw him focusing much of his efforts in Bong County, doing all of these things prior to him being sanctioned.
Right.
Now, what we've gathered is that Senator Nukwe is seriously opposing Honorable Magio. And there's this adage that what the adult can see, you know, sitting, even a child cannot see, even if he's standing and even standing on top of a tree. So what we've gathered in Magibee is Senator Nukwe is already harboring the fear that if Magio is elected senator, he's going for that Godfather of Magibee title. That is what he's going to be gunning for. And he also has got his own people that he's pushing in a race, you know, to win legislative seats, representative seats, and all of that, because he wants to form his own bloc. So from what we've gathered, it is a serious fight, though. I'm sure you've gotten the information as well. It's
I know the two people are just waiting for you to lay so I can tell you my own.
So just tell me your own. That one is serious. There has been
what happened.
Plots and a lot of other things happening.
When the government took over, don't forget, Nukwe ran as vice president to Joseph Numa Boakai. Why you think that Nukwe landed where he landed? At the Liberian Civil Aviation Authority. Here is what happened. Magio, nobody in the CDC wanted for Nukwe to come anywhere near any government thing. Don't mind our story where Nukwe was explaining. I know. I was close to Magio. I know. He went to Magio. Magio said, I've got to find somewhere to put you. You know, Magio is a strategist. So he thought about bringing all the guys from all over, plucking them into government, would have reduced the fire on the back of the government. So he did that. Nukwe had a free pass, free ride with a lot of things. Right now, what is happening is the fact that McGill decided to go into Magibee. The first thing Nukwe is looking at is the fact that Magibee is like for PUP. I think you can see both of them are from PUP and they are the senators there, correct?
Yeah.
Magio ran behind your man to bring the PUP into the coalition. As at now, the PUP is not a member of the coalition. They just support the coalition and endorse President Weah. Maggie did not want that. So for that reason, Maggie packed hellos with Nukwe that this is what we need to do. But like you said, Nukwe is afraid of Magill's dominance in the county. So for that reason, he wanted to promote Tonola. He was hoping that if they go to the CDC, based on what Siri Allen said, that Magill cannot be on the ticket, that Tonola would have been on the ticket. If not Tonola, a guy by the name of Ava Jones.
Yeah, Koklo.
Ava Jones was beaten. So he was hoping for that. But every time they conduct a pool, Maggie will be leading slightly everywhere. And this has brought some serious problem. So the fighting in Magibee now is to make sure that Maggie does not succeed. For that same fear you talk about. But Maggie is much more closer to the president than Nukwe. And Nukwe will not get the support that Maggie will get. So it's going to be an intense fight. This guy raised an issue. And the last polls I saw from Magibee, I will send it to you maybe when you're driving, you just listen. Many of the people in Magibee have not decided on who the senator will be. But the few that talk, Magibee is ahead. Now, there's a guy in there, Balas is it? That's the guy that's moving up with Magibee now. And so we'll see what happens. But before we go now, I would like for us to switch to something different, which has to do with, I don't know if I sent it to you, Diamond. The JMB named his campaign team.
Yeah, he did. That news there, Mr. Fagon. You know we already had the insider information. It was all a part of the Yombly faction of the Liberty Party coming on board with the Unity Party Alliance. That was something that was already written in stone, rubber stamp.
Diamond, before you are born, in it, I come and tell you what the news is. Isaiah. Then you will say, "Oh, I see."
Yeah,
the news is not Yombly come down to chair.
Is it James Biney? The news is James Biney.
One of the news. Now, one of the news. But not the big news. Here is what I said to you.
So tell us.
You thought it would be Yombly Kanga. No. That's why the question I will ask in the next 5 minutes is for us to look at the list, then you will know where the news coming from. Yombly Kanga Lawrence. And before we go, by the way, let me correct something. If you look all on social media, more than 10 persons say, oh, the original rescue mother went down to the ghetto to celebrate her birthday. The other rescue mother went to Farmington. Let me say this. One rescue mother had money. And we know that the money for chief of protocol is not that money. We know of the $140 million worth for drugs. We know about corruption. We know about the taxes, the houses, the what have you. So that rescue mother went down to the ghetto for people who consume illicit substances. The other rescue mother went to Farmington to raise money for her party and her work. You do not go to Slabway or Soniwe or Bache Factory to raise 100,000 US. You got to go to Farmington where the people can go, call them and raise that money. So let this be clear. That other cheap propaganda is for us not to talk about the loan from Israel, but waiting for it to come. Here is the news. Yombly Kanga Lawrence is from which party, Damo? Say I'm going to show you the news. That's my job. Yombly Kanga Lawrence.
What party? Those membership has been suspended.
Membership cannot be suspended. You don't get party, you suspend.
Oh, so she didn't get party now.
No, but they didn't get party. The woman get a party.
Okay. All right.
Now, Yombly is from Liberty. She's the one chairing the campaign. James P. Pani is from which party?
NPP.
He's the one that what?
Vice chair for administration.
You see where I'm coming from? You don't see the news?
Yo, go ahead. Go ahead.
Unity Party, Liberty Party, NPP. A coalition, not by paper, but by representation, has been formed. A coalition, not by paper, but by representation, has been formed. A United Party stand-up bearer could have named his party chairman Amin Moda or a party stalwart. He could have done that. No. But he took Yombly Kanga Lawrence, chair the campaign. In short, the news is UP asked Liberty Party to chair the campaign and the National Patriotic Party to be vice chair of the campaign. And then the Unity Party vice chair for planning and research is Amin Moda. Those three names at the top represent NPP Liberty Party, Unity Party in a coalition.
And also you have MOL.
That me talking now. You say I would not have news, but you bring
No,
the
I
news.
say you are not having news. I say the part that Senator Lawrence would have been
English. I say what do they call
Yeah, so we're trying to break it down.
You expect
I say that news. I didn't say so. I'm saying it was already out there. We already knew as per the agreement that brought Senator Kanga Lawrence over. It was already rubber stamped.
That's the news that is within this news that is not news. That a coalition has been formed between the Liberty Party, the National Patriotic Party, the Unity Party, the MOL, the MDR. I saw Copper Crown in there.
The Copper Crown is also here, the MDR.
Well, the news are giving you so. Then I saw Alare Topa vote. How do they call it? Vote or vote? It's a political party.
Yeah, VOLT.
Okay, yes. So a coalition has been formed. It's not on paper, but it has been formed. That is the news. So, and they say additional appointments will follow. My question to the Liberian people is, what do they make of Joseph Newman Parker campaign team? What do they make? They want a 1 minute per person because we got to close. 1 minute per person. What do they make of former Vice President Joseph Newman Parker campaign team? And I want you to, if you want, I can name the team. Can you call out the list?
Alaric is from the National Democratic Coalition. That is the same party Dr. Dubek Chris Yan is from. So he's from the National Democratic Coalition, the NDC. There is a party in Ghana also called NDC. So let's read out the whole list. And the teams are being formed. You know, the strategists are going to go against each other from various camps. And we're looking at crisscrossing. So you did a party because it was Ambassador Barker who named this team. The campaign team is set up by the candidate, as we have been told and we know. So he has said to the NPP through Chairman Biney, go defeat yourself and go bring the votes for us so we can defeat the other people from the NPP that are on the other side. He said to the Liberty Party, through Senator Lawrence, can't give us the votes for us to defeat the other section of faction of the Liberty Party. The MDR as well, through Cooper Cry, we also know that Jeremiah Kwankun is represented as the vice stand-up bearer as well. So let's read out the whole team. So Senator Yombly Kanga Lawrence is the chair. Senator James Binding is the vice chair for administration. Ami Modad is the vice chair for planning and research, former chairman emeritus of the Unity Party. Tonola Vapla, vice chair for technical services. Madam Magdala Cooper, vice chair for finance. Yeah, is it Madam Magdala Cooper will be handling all the Yeah. Senator Prince Kambo Moy of Bon County, campaign manager. Mo Ali, campaign spokesman. Aman Jala, former senator, member. Sando Johnson, former senator as well, member. Abraham Darius Dillon is also a member. Cooper Kra, former minister, post and telecommunications, who attended the endorsement and then, he was told you can go and sit home. Is also a member. And Alaric Tokpa, advisor. Jacob Smith, campaign liaison. So that is the full list. So Ambassador Boyka and the UP Alliance, from the letter that we saw, is called the Alliance, the UP Alliance. They've set their team and said this is the team that they've entrusted with the task of delivering the votes to rescue Liberia. The question is, what do you make of this team, taken from various heavyweight political parties and other political parties as well? Do you see this team as formidable? And if so, can this rescue team rescue the votes for JMB and Jeremiah Pankun to be able to rescue the country? 0777 771075. Okay, yeah, Senator Boto Kane. Yes, thank you there. Senator Boto Kane. My eyes jumped over her name. Oh man, forgive me. Yeah, It wasn't intentional. Yeah. Senator Boto Kane is right between Sando Johnson and Abraham Darius Dillon. There you have Senator Boto Kane of Bapolu County as well on that team. Let's take this person straight to the point. What do you make of this team? Is it formidable enough to deliver the votes going against the CDC, the CPP, other political parties, and independent candidates? Hello?
He's willing to work with the Liberian people that are qualified. That's my understanding.
What is your understanding? We lost you there for a while.
I said my understanding that concerning the team that he has selected to work for the campaign, it's like he is waiting to work with the Liberian people, not based on the party. Okay. It's not a party team. That's my understanding.
So it's a great team for you.
Yes, I'm very, very happy and excited of it.
All right. Thank you. Let's take this person. I will do that, Andrew. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you out.
Yeah, thank you. I think that thing is not bad. Anyway, I'm Syrian Dixon again once more from District 2. And I'm a member of the All Liberian Party. I don't know what's happening between the party and that of the UP. But for some of us who read behind the line, I think that's a good decision. And whatsoever we are calling on our support for Angle, especially in District number 2.
Okay.
In order to rescue Liberia, we all have to work together and forget about personal interests.
Okay, sir.
And that's one of the reasons why I supported Jimmy Smith, because he's development oriented, and that's what the people wanted.
All right, thank you. All right, we left the Jimmy Smith topic now. Jimmy Borden still calling. All right, so let me say thank you to let me get a name quickly. He said, remember the person who reminded you. Please give credit. Andrew Don. Thank you for reminding me. Hello.
Good afternoon, Damon.
Afternoon. Edward Expensive Joe.
I'll be my little try right and I'll try to call and show this afternoon.
Go ahead. What's your take on the UP's team?
I'm from the Liberty Party originally. They're the best campaign team ever in Liberia from there. The campaign team is tough, it's crack, it's strong, it's tall, it's wide, it's too wide, you can't get where it's too low, you get power on it, too tall, you can't power away. I mean, this is the best campaign team ever. Trust me, this is a one-round team, man.
Thank you, Expensive Joe. Expensive Joe said campaign team, like everything. Hello?
Yeah.
Your name and where you calling us from?
My name is John. I'm calling from Corwell.
Go ahead, ma'am. What's your take on the United Party's campaign team?
My take on it is that the campaign team is very set, and is going to deliver.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Another message to you in studio there, Opa, the CEO of Spoon FM, I get important message from here. They're calling the station, or the lady can always tell me she'll call me back.
Okay.
His mother is seriously sick.
All right. We'll pass that information on, yeah? That's how to hear. All right.
I'm no more, yeah.
All right, man. Thank you. We'll definitely pass that on. All right. So let's take this person here. Hello?
Hello.
Go ahead, please. Your name and where you calling us from?
I'm Usman Kumar, Chairman of Citizens United to support the rescue team, and I'm calling for Student OSK. Let me say this. The team that there gave to the Liberian people, that shows a leadership ability. Because if you look at people from different political backgrounds, you make them to be a campaign team, then that shows that you are good leaders. So I want to assure you for that. Thank you.
Is it better than the 2017 team?
It's better than all the teams there that they did only before.
All right. Thank you. All right. This person here. Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead, please. What's your take on JMB's campaign team that has been named?
Yeah, the campaign team, well, for me, it's not bad, but the only concern I have is that I think JMB need to strike hand to the other party, that is the AFP. Just by whatsoever that happened, I think they need to strike hand and bring other people on board from that end. And also, we hope that these people will be honest and sincere. That's my point. Because Brennan Ayure have been one of the strong men of, JMB. Just by whatsoever happened, he should strike hand and bring somebody from there. Let's go ahead and pick the guy from the seat. Other than that, it will be a little bit difficult. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Mr. Fagon, that's where we have to leave the calls so that you have enough time to wrap up. We have to finish in time so that we don't be fined, to pay extra money. for running into the station's time. So go ahead, sir.
Let me say thank you, Diamond, and to the Liberian people, that we are still following up with the operations there in Israel. We're still, like we broke the news to you, and we will get back to you. We're still talking about what the government told us, that they're going there for security, trade, and others. We understand the people that they took with them, as many as the government officials they could take. We're following up with that. We're trying to complete our investigation on Angela Lisk. We are wrapping up with Angela. We want Angela Lisk to fall within line with the president's visit. We're also saying that you saw the list today from Normally Kanga Lawrence, chair lady or chairperson, JMB campaign. But we are looking at it from the point that JMB has cut across the aisle. He's managed to get into Liberty Party. He's gotten into the NPP. He's gotten into the MOL of Magdala Cooper. He's gotten into the NDC of Alaric Tupa. Excuse me. He's gotten also into the ALP. Damo, you were there when the ALP vice chair for administration resigned. The youth leader resigned. And even now, almost all their party people gone. They have with JMB. That's why you saw Sandro Johnson there too. So again, JMB has managed to take pieces of almost each and every political party. Jeremiah Wapo, he's from, I don't know the party name again, I think Votes. And a lot of the different political parties. So I think it'll be fair for us to come to the conclusion that that team is a formidable team. It's not just a unity party team. It is a unity party alliance that has been built. And within that alliance, you now see the Liberty Party, the NPP, the MOL, the MDR, Cooper, and the list is just too long. So those people are going to bring their parties and the people together, and hopefully JMB can deliver. When it comes to Honorable McGill, while it's true he's leading in the polls, I think the concern raised by the gentleman will be something he will have to put up and fight to make sure that it's not sustained. And then when it comes to the issue of those people that have been forced into the CDC primary and forced against the people as sacred cows, the CDC needs to rethink the strategy. Because in parliamentary elections, it's a simple majority. And so those people are on the verge of losing. Dama, it was wonderful having me tonight. But you didn't play the music the other people made?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit biased, but I'll play it.
Yeah, play, man.
I'll definitely play it. Yeah, so just my quick closing. There is a period to challenge the candidacy of anybody who has registered with the NEC. So if you have any complaint against anybody who has registered as a candidate, you can go and use the NEC's processes of filing your complaint as to why this person shouldn't be qualified to contest the election. We need to start testing these things out, other than just only on the radio and expressing our opinions, which is well, I should say appreciated, but you can also make use of the system to be able to test and see how far it goes. That's one I have to say. The second thing
quickly, even if you go to the NEC to say this, for example, in the case of McGill, tomorrow we can hold that for a different debate. What will you carry? Is he guilty? Has he been indicted? Nothing. So it's just going to be hard. But
yeah, so the process is available. You can do that. Yeah. The second thing I want to say is people shouldn't be surprised when they see political actors crisscrossing and cross-carpeting. It's not a new thing to Liberian politics. But again, that should let you know that people are desperate. And it's a minus on our financial system in our country when it comes to employment. When you see everybody running for government job, everybody running, they say president, you get 35%, they say representative in one district, you get 13%. Then it clearly shows that we have not diversified in our economic structure in our country, because everybody now sees government job as the fastest way of gaining wealth rather than the private sector. So a lot needs to be done. In other countries, people go to these positions as a means of prestige, of giving back to their country and serving. But yeah, if you count the richest people in our country, if you put a list out, you see most of them will be politicians. So now we see it as the best way forward to gaining quick money. So you see people cross-carpeting when this one doesn't seek their interest, it's not in line with what they want. They don't give them that security or what, they jump to the next one. So people should shine their eyes. That's what I want to say to end the show today. So let me just play this song that you sent so that you can be satisfied as well. They're calling you that you're GB ready. Don't be ashamed to answer. Yeah. Mr. Fagon, as someone who has worked in the music industry directly and indirectly, this song needs to be mastered. It needs to be boosted, and it needs a.
I don't know much about it.
I'm sure it's a demo. So you need to send them the funds. SNW can take them to his recording studio and make this thing to work out properly. But it sounded like, no disrespect to the people who did this song, though we appreciate their efforts. But it sounded like one man, a family just sat down and said, let's do something, for Mr. Fagon and send it to him. It can be done properly, though. SNW is here. He can give you his professional expertise, provided the right price. Allah SNW. 100%. He said 100%. Thank you, Mr. Fagon. We're already out of time, Baba.
So snow on the other trip again to Israel.
You see the list that they released. He's there. Honorable Fanati Kofa is also there. Yeah. So like, hey there, Mr. Fagon, Baba, I want to run in spoon time. You're not building me out of the trouble. Baba, I see you. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. The last song, yeah. No disrespect to the people, but if you're feeling down, just play that song. Bye-bye.